Alright, hi, I'm Jack, and today I'm going to be reviewing Tron Evolution. First things first, let's get some obvious questions out of the way. Yes, I am British. To be more specific, I live in Wales, and I am Welsh. For those of you who don't know, Wales is that little country right on the edge of Britain. And for the record, no, I'm not a miner, and no, I don't track sheep. So yeah, Tron Evolution. Okay, here's the rundown. Tron Evolution was set up to bridge the gap between the first Tron film and Tron Legacy, the new film. And it is fucking awesome. The game does a brilliant job of introducing the new characters in the film. It does an amazing job of actually engaging you, and it's a generally fun game to play. You play as System Monitor, a nameless program whose codename Anonymous says it all. You literally have no feelings towards this character, and the designers had no intentions to make you feel otherwise. But the developers weren't here to tell the story System Monitor, and you shouldn't be interested in it. This game's sole purpose is to explain exactly what happened in between the first film and the new film. But that's not exactly what it does. The film sort of dances around the whole Tron and Flynn thing. It shows them, they do show up in the game, but it's not... They're bit characters in the game, but that's honestly not why you should buy this game. You should buy this game. It's not the best Tron game I've played. In fact, it's the only Tron game I've played. But it's the best Prince of Persia game I've ever played in my life. I mean, seriously. The wall running in this game flows beautifully into the combat. You literally mix it up as much as you want, and it doesn't feel awkward. I mean, I remember playing the new Prince of Persia movie tie-in. Well, I've already forgotten what that was called, but I remember playing it, and although you can do all these acrobatic wall-runny shit, it just doesn't flow that smoothly into the combat. You sort of feel like, why would this master swordsman need to be running along the walls? I mean, that's just me. But with Tron, it just flowed in so beautifully, because anybody who's maybe seen the original Tron or knows the gist of it knows that all this combat is meant to be acrobatic and, quite free-flowing, and that's what the game does best. It really flows beautifully into combat. I think a good example is the means of which you heal yourself during combat. It's not a generic first aid pickup or you run away and your health comes back. No, you actually have to run along certain walls to heal yourself, so the game vastly encourages the wall running, the flipping, the throwing discs at people. So the gameplay pretty much boils down to run along wall, jump off wall, run along another wall, jump, miss time the jump, fall to death, reload, do it again, feel awesome. The other bits of the game, the combat, really good, and the light cycle racing, which, if you're a fan of the Tron films, you'll probably hate. I mean, I like the light cycle bits, I thought they were really good, but they're not light cycles. They could have replaced the light cycle model with a generic bike, and it would have been any old driving game. Now, that changes when you go online and you can actually do the right-angled Tron turns and use your light trail as a weapon, but on the story, you never get a chance to do that. It is simply just a way of getting around. One thing that did annoy me about the light cycles was you can't activate it whenever you want, so you couldn't run off, during the story, run up a wall, jump off, light cycle. Now, but you can do that online, but the online's fun for about 30 minutes, and then you realise people just run around spamming the best ability in the game, and it's not fun. Which does change when you decide to play the game with bots, but it's pretty much just the combat from the story done with a harder difficulty setting. I will say this for the game, if you have a couple of friends with the game, going online, maybe with 3, even 2 people, and just having light cycle battles is possibly the funnest thing I've done in a game in a long time. But obviously, you can't control whether your friends are going to get it, or whether you have any friends, or whether you have enough money. But the multiplayer isn't what the game was designed about. The multiplayer is just an optional extra, which is quite fun for a laugh on the light cycles. I mean, I spent, loads and loads of time just playing by myself on the light cycle maps because it was a chance to use the light cycles like they're meant to be used. But getting back to the story, as I've said, the story isn't the best story I've ever seen. It neatly ties the game together. And although I said you shouldn't be interested in the story of System Monitor, if they had characterized System Monitor as a character, we would have cared more and the game would have been a lot better. Even it's good as it is, but the fact the System Monitor is just this anonymous security program sort of means that you don't really care about him. I mean, you care about... The game does its best to make you care about Quora, Flynn, Clue, Tron, but you don't see them that often. I mean, there's this one character who's introduced just for the game. I won't say, just in case it's for spoilers. And he's probably about the third interesting character in the game. And even he, who's not in the film, so they could go nuts with this character, make him do whatever they want, and no one would care. Even he's only in it for about 2 missions. And the character of Quora, played by Olivia Wilde in the film, that's 13 from House for the rest of us. Even she's only in the game for the last couple of missions and a few fleeting glances at the start, which is a shame. Olivia Wilde does a great job of playing Quora, apart from being ridiculously hot in the film, and possibly the game. But they could have gone so much more. I mean, Quora was not in the first film, to my knowledge, and I'd be surprised if she was, given, well, spoilers. But they could have had her in the game so much more. I mean, a lot of the characters who are in the film show up. I played the game before I played the film. I watched the film. So, I recognized a few of the characters. I mean, Zeus, the very camp, very, I'm trying to avoid using a certain word here, but he is in the game for about 25 seconds. And I mean, Flynn and Clue, the 2 characters from the first film, they show up, but it is understandable why they're not in anymore. But given the fact that this is a Tron game, I was really, really, really disappointed that Tron was only in it for literally the first mission, and 1 cutscene after the second mission, maybe. I don't know how the mission structure works. But aside from that, this game, if you completely overlook the fact that the story is subpar, and if you maybe haven't seen the first Tron film, you might even enjoy this game more. I mean, I haven't seen the first Tron film. I was very aware of it. But I thoroughly enjoyed the gameplay part of this game. I mean, the story, subpar, gameplay, amazing. So, overall, pros, it's got incredible gameplay. If you liked Prince of Persia, you will love this. I assume if you watched the first Tron film, you like this. If you plan to go see the new Tron film and you got a bit of extra cash, you'll know what's going on in the new Tron film. And if you're going with friends, you can smugly smile and point out characters that you know. I did that. Cons, the story is a little bit, the story's quite weak. Characterization could be better. Light cycle racing is just racing. Overall, I give it 4 out of 5. If I'm being mean, I'd be able to stretch to 5 out of 5 just for the awesomeness of the gameplay. Anyway, I'm Jack, and that was my point of view. See you next time.